The insurance company sent a letter. It arrived 3 weeks after they brought Maya home from the hospital, addressed to Patrick by name, informing him that as the owner of a Rottweiler, his home insurance policy contained a liability clause that he should review carefully. There was a paragraph about breed restrictions. There was a number to call. Patrick put the letter in the recycling bin. His wife Elena read it first and put it back on the kitchen counter, and Patrick moved it to the recycling bin a second time. Elena did not retrieve it again. Their dog was named Zeus. He was 5 years old, black and tan, 98 pounds of animal that carried himself, with the deliberate economy of movement that large dogs develop when they have spent years learning the dimensions of the house they live in. He had never bitten anything except a tennis ball and, once, a garden hose that had startled him. He had also never met a baby. The first week, they kept Zeus and Maya separated, not because they believed Zeus would hurt her, but because the internet and their pediatrician and Patrick's mother all told them to take it slowly. They let Zeus sniff the baby's blanket. They let him observe from across the room. They followed every protocol they had read about, and at the end of the first week, Zeus had not shown any concerning behavior toward the baby. He had, instead, begun sitting outside her door, not pressed against it, not whining, just sitting in the hallway, equidistant between their bedroom and Maya's room, ears slightly forward, breathing audibly in the quiet of the house at night. They installed a baby gate across Maya's doorway at the end of week 2, partly because the pediatrician mentioned room access, partly because they wanted a physical boundary they could point to if anyone asked. Zeus sat on the other side of it and looked through the bars. Patrick's mother said, "That dog is obsessed. It isn't natural," Elena said. "He's watching over her." Patrick's mother said, "That's not what it looks like from here." On a Friday afternoon in Maya's 6th week, Elena was in the kitchen and Patrick was working in his home office when they heard the gate. Not crashing, a deliberate, methodical sound, the sound of weight being applied carefully to a latch until the latch yielded, then silence. Patrick came out of his office. The gate was open. Zeus was sitting on the other side, inside Maya's room, perfectly still, facing the crib. Patrick stood in the hallway for a moment. Then he walked to the crib and looked in. Maya was awake. She had worked herself into the corner of the crib. Not dangerously, she was nowhere near the bars, but she had pushed the light muslin swaddle blanket up near her face, where it was draped partly across her mouth and nose, not blocking airway entirely, but there. Patrick moved the blanket. Maya made a small sound and looked at him. He looked at Zeus. Zeus had not moved. He was sitting on the far side of the room, near the window, and he was watching Patrick with the calm patience of a creature that has done what it needed to do and is now simply waiting to be acknowledged. Patrick stood in the middle of the nursery for a long time. He was a firefighter. He had been to calls involving infants. He knew what muslin over a face meant in terms of risk. He knew about safe sleep guidelines, and he and Elena had followed every one of them. This had been an accident, the baby shifting, the light fabric shifting with her. He also knew that no alarm in the house had sounded. The baby monitor had not detected anything because Maya's breathing had not yet changed enough to register. The baby camera had not alerted because there was no smart feature-tracking blanket position. Zeus had heard something, or smelled something, or perceived something through the walls and the gate and the distance between himself and the baby, and he had opened the gate and come in. Patrick sat on the nursery floor. He called Elena. He told her what had happened in a quiet voice because he did not want his voice to shake in a way that Maya or Zeus could detect. Elena came and looked at the blanket and looked at Zeus and sat on the floor beside Patrick. They sat there together for a while. Zeus stayed by the window until they left the room. Then he followed, close the way he always followed, and lay down in the hallway outside Maya's door in his customary spot. Patrick moved the gate to the hallway closet the following morning. He did not put it back. Elena called the insurance company. She told the representative about their Rottweiler, and she told the representative about the blanket and the gate and the Friday afternoon. She did not expect the representative to understand. She called mostly because she wanted someone official to know. The representative was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Do you want to speak to someone about your coverage?" Elena said, "No. I just wanted you to know." She hung up and stood in the kitchen for a moment with the phone in her hand. Zeus was sitting in the doorway, watching her tail moving in a slow, thoughtful arc. She said, "Good dog." He lay down, satisfied, and closed his eyes.